Here's another Kick-Ash Rock on the Range moment. Brought to you by Vapor Station. Kickin' ash every day.
All right, so I've got Mike from Disturbed back from 4 years of hiatus. What is going on, man? Good to see you.
Good to be here.
I keep doing that. See, I always keep I'm always used to like doing the whole back and forth thing. We're doing the back and forth thing. So you guys are headlining tonight, the first of 3 days of the 10-year anniversary of Rock on the Range, and it sold out in record time. Pretty cool. I think it's because
crazy.
I think it's because of Disturbed.
Maybe we have something to do with that. That'd be kind of nice.
So Immortalize came out. You guys blasted with the light, and now the cover of Sound of Silence. How did you guys decide to cover that particular song? Was that kind of a favorite of yours as a band, or David's, or? It
was mine. It was a personal one growing up, and we were sitting in the studio, and we were just trying to come up with some ideas, and nothing was really resonating with anyone, and so we just kind of started to think outside the box, and I just happened to throw out Simon and Garfunkel, and the guys kind of turned around on me and said, "That's not a bad idea, but what song in particular?" There's so many, and I said, "What about Sound of Silence?" And David kind of looked like that could be a pretty daunting task. I says, "I know, but maybe we experiment and see." So Danny said, "That's a great idea. Let me take that even further. Let's try it orchestrally, something that we've never done before." And so we just kind of started experimenting, and we had a lot of hours in the studio just trying different stuff, and it just started to develop and take on this whole new life of its own, and now we're on this amazing journey that it's taken us on.
It's completely given Disturbed a whole different side that people never saw before. Now I have to ask, did David take some kind of vocal lessons to be able to do that song live too? Because that's, like he said, that's a task. I mean, that's a hard song. I mean, that's a strong, powerful song to sing.
Initially, he wasn't 100% crazy about the direction, and we just said, you know what, we know that you can do this, because we've been brothers for so many years now, and he had training early on in his childhood. We knew he could do it, and so it was just a matter of us explaining and experimenting, and once he got it and heard it, that's what carries the song. His vocal performance is really what stands out, and I just love that we were able to show another side of ourselves and another side of him. And before the song, everyone thought that if you were going to make a song Disturbed style, it had the syncopated rhythms and the chunky guitars, and that's definitely a major part of us. But I think we've been able to sort of reinvent what a Disturbed song maybe sound like.
Well, and the way you guys kind of made it your own too. I mean, it's very true to the original, but you made it your own, and I think it's because of the power of his voice in general.
Completely agree with that. Yeah, it was a daunting task. The song, it's a legendary song. It's epic in its own self, and it was intimidating to tackle a song that hard, because you could be sacrilegious if you don't do it right. Yeah. So, but we also, again, like you're saying, we wanted to put our own stamp on it and still make it our own. And I still think it does honor the original version, but we've been able to add our own haunting elements to it and just make it our own.
And it's cool too, because everybody knows every single word to that song, which is really awesome. That's got to be a super high for you guys to do that thing live too, right?
It's an incredibly amazing moment for us live every night. Our fan base is so energetic to begin with, and then to bring it down in the set and have to see the emotion on everyone's face. You can see people up in the first few rows, and you can almost see them tearing up and having a little tear coming down the cheek, and just singing with passion with us. It's just an amazing, incredible moment.
And that kind of goes with something that Dan recently said. He said that rock music really produces fans for life. I mean, and you guys have been able to do that because of, you came out of the gate just roaring, and you've developed. And talk a little bit about kind of the evolution of Disturbed and how you guys have sort of come around into all these different, clearly just some whole different aspects you never had tried before.
I think, like you're saying, the rock music, hard rock, heavy metal, it's not if you're a fan of that genre, you're not necessarily a fan of a song. You do become a fan of for life, especially of a certain band And I think it's a lifestyle. It's not a choice. You're drawn to that music. That music resonates within your soul, and a lot of people. One thing that amazes me constantly, all of us in the band, is people come up to us and say how they've used a certain song or many songs to get through really hard, difficult times.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. It's hard for me to just find the words. This record's been such an emotional journey as we've gotten older and matured and tapped into places that we haven't gone through before, and it's just I feel like I'm rambling right now, but it's just
You're all right.
It's been just an amazing ride. We're so blessed and thankful for everything we've achieved, and our fans. It's as much as they say that they're grateful for the music, we're grateful for them. It's a great relationship. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling now.
You're fine, Mike. It's like a give and take. You make it, they love it. It's like you build it, they will come. It's like that kind of thing, and then it makes you happy because they came and they're there with you. And now, so you talked about music that your fans listen to, that you create, that makes them feel good. What about you? What do you listen to besides your own, maybe, that you've written and created? Is there something else like that is a band, or you mentioned Simon and Garfunkel being a favorite of yours, but is there some other kind of music or another artist that you kind of go to when you're kind of in a place that you need kind of a little help getting out of or whatever?
Well, I guess, yeah, especially if I'm in a place like that, I go back to like when I was in high school, and I really used the same artist I used back then as the stuff that I use now, and that's just what I grew up on, I think.
And who would that be?
You know all the classic metal bands, your Metallicas and your Maidens, Priest, Sabbath. That was what did it for me.
Yeah.
It still is what do it for me. And there's so many great talented bands out there now. So many bands on the bill here today. I just because it resonates with my childhood and growing up and those connections. That's still what probably inspires me the most.
Yeah.
Brings me back to those days.
You mentioned Black Sabbath. How do you feel about them kind of calling it quits, and Sharon saying, I want Ozzy to retire before he's 70 years old, or at least by 70? How do you feel about all that?
I think there's a lot to be said for a band to go out when they still can. If they have the means to do that, they don't have anything to prove. They have a legendary career. I think that they should go out when they're still on top, and not go out there limping. So Motley Crue just did that. And there's even a lot to be said for, that can tie into the reason we took the hiatus in the first place. We were feeling a little burned out. Things became a pretty predictable, and we took a nice little break, and now we're back stronger than ever. So I don't know. I think if the bands have a means to do either the break or you've had a nice long career, then absolutely hang it up.
It almost sounds like that's where the title of the album, Immortalize, came from almost. It just seems like what you were just talking about. I was like, oh, wow, Immortalized. I kind of get that now. You know what I mean? How did you decide for that to be the album title? Did it have to do with the time you took off? And, I don't know.
It certainly had a major influence on that title. We weren't sure about the title of the record, actually, up until the end of the recording process. That just was that. And that title had to do with the song itself, the lyrics behind it. This is our time, this is your time, we won't be denied, we'll be immortalized.
Yeah.
It's just another thing that resonated with us. It was sort of like us letting the fans know that, we're coming back, we mean business, you guys have been our life's blood, and we're here with you, and just thank you.
So, just announced, oh my God, Ozfest meets Knotfest. You guys are going to be there in September out in California. What's up with that?
You give me chills saying that. I know it's pretty badass.
So excited. I was like, well, we were waiting for the big announcement because there was this big thing with Ozzy and Corey Taylor making this big be here at noon or whatever. And I found out it was only in California, and I was like, man, fingers crossed that it'll travel a little bit. Not to take the place of Rock on the Range, but it'd be cool to have him do a few more. But you guys are on that bill, and you're playing the Ozfest side of the Knotfest,
correct,
right?
Yeah. Yeah, we've obviously we've known about it for a while. The Ozfest part of it's been planned for a bit, and we're fortunate enough to get the main support slot right before Sabbath. So this is something that's been on our schedule for a bit. We knew about it, but when we realized it was being combined for the big weekend festival with the Slipknot guys, is amazing. Yeah, it's been again, it's such a crazy ride this year. Right? It's so many exciting things, so many amazing things happening for us.
You guys have had a lot on your plate, and you're getting ready to do the Breaking Benjamin tour too.
Yeah, that'll be in the summertime in the U.S. It's Breaking Benjamin going to co-headline with us along with Alter Bridge and Saint Azonia.
Yeah. So, what do you think about Adam Gonte moving on from 3 Days Grace and getting into Saint Azonia? You dig that?
I think Saint Azonia is awesome.
Yeah.
We've already done a couple shows with those guys, and we know all the other guys from their other projects.
Yeah.
So they're all bros of ours, and we're looking forward to hanging out with them all summer long.
Pretty cool stuff. Well, Mike and the guys in Disturbed are going to hit the Monster Main Stage tonight, headlining at 9:35. If you're not at Rock on the Range for the 10-year anniversary, you're a loser. Thanks again for your time.
Thank you.
Mike and Disturbed. Check out Immortalize if you haven't gotten it. You're a loser.